The HTC One Max runs Android 4.3 Jelly Bean with Sense 5.5 out of box, the latest and greatest software package HTC has to offer. The blink feed pane is still one of the coolest bits about the Sense UI. It has received a pretty major update and now allows you to add custom topics of interest from Twitter or YouTube. It also pulls interesting news from over 10,000 providers and mixes them in with updates from your social networks. Just as before, you can post and reply to messages from Facebook, Twitter, and other networks straight from BlinkFeed. The interface has been revamped to feature swipeable panes that allow you to easily switch between different topics and services. There's also a dedicated field that searches through your entire BlinkFeed content. Finally, BlinkFeed now offers you the option to save articles for later. You just need to tap the dedicated Read Later icon when reading an article, and it will be saved for offline viewing. If that's still not enough to convert you to the BlinkFeed cause, you'd be glad to hear that starting with this release of Sense UI, you're able to switch off the service completely. Moving on, we find some of the other new features that Sense 5.5 offers. These include customizable quick settings, lock screen widgets, and fingerprint unlock. There's also a new GIF creator, editable Zoe video highlights, and the new HTC Scribble drawing app. The HTC One Max has a regular home screen that you are free to fill up with shortcuts, folders, and widgets. The app drawer starts off showing very few icons, but you can change that to a 4x5 grid or use folders to fit more shortcuts on one screen. The big clock and weather info are visible here too. One of the cool new features brought by the HTC One Max is the fingerprint sensor on its back. Unlike Apple's implementation, this one requires you to slide your finger over it rather than just hold it on top. The One Max recognizes up to 3 fingers, which is even more limiting than Apple's Touch ID maximum of 5 records. As a value-added feature, you can now assign an app to each memorized fingerprint, and it will launch automatically every time you unlock the screen with it. That way, you can make your index finger launch the phone app, your middle finger launch the camera app, and your little finger to just unlock the Max. Unfortunately, these shortcuts are no longer available once you have unlocked the phablet, which we find to be quite disappointing. The HTC One Max introduces Do Not Disturb mode similar to the iOS feature of the same name. It mutes all kinds of notifications except for those coming from contacts that you have explicitly marked as exceptions. Unfortunately, you can only schedule an off time for the mode and you must turn it on manually every time. The gallery and the music player navigation has been updated. Now both allow you to go through the different modes with a side swipe so that you don't have to go back to the main menu every time. A nice touch indeed. Zoe Shots are available on the HTC One Max. In addition to the video, you can also create a GIF from the group of shots the HTC One Max will now capture when you have enabled the feature. The HTC Scribble app allows you to draw on top of your phone or simply takes notes using the capacitive stylus.